Hey, it's me again. And this time, I guess I want to talk about letting go, and what that looked like, and how you can effectively, let go, and still have some dignity, still have, you know, just the right idea in mind behind why you're making that decision to do so. I recently had to make that decision with someone who I felt was genuinely trying to be a good friend to me. Just really pure, honestly. The issue is, I'm in a stage or a time in my life where I am trying to figure myself out, figure my life out. As I had mentioned in the previous video, I was in a 12-year relationship, 6-year marriage, and I lost myself. I kind of feel like I just didn't really know myself, long before, any of my relationships. I feel like I've always just been trying to figure myself out, my purpose in life, and all of that. And I just felt like I didn't have it. So now, I did a lot of thinking, and I was like, I feel like I'm being really unfair, to this person, because I know that right now my mind and my heart is just not aligned, and I've been really confused, and I believe that the person was genuinely, trying to be a friend and just be good to me, and very much so was. I myself, I feel like, was the one kind of moving a little too fast emotionally, mentally assuming things, and conjuring things up or whatever. And when I realized that, that this is a sign of emotional codependency, right? Like, when we didn't talk, it made me really sad, I felt like I was putting expectations on, this person without them really even knowing that there was an expectation on them. That's when I really was like, yeah, Les, you gotta get your shit together, like, you gotta figure this out, because you're not being fair, like, you came to the table being 100% honest and truthful, and to me, I just kind of felt like, the transparency, the just honesty, like, those are values of mine, and I fucking thought the shit was sexy. I'm not gonna lie, on top of, like, the individual looking good, like, I was like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, hell yeah, But really, sitting back and thinking, like, fuck, like, yeah, I think I was kind of moving a little too fast, and I don't think that was his intention. So I had to check myself, it kind of felt embarrassing, like, damn, especially because, like, again, like, being with someone for like 12 years and shit, like, you really are kind of oblivious to how other things work, really, it was just like the feeling. And again, I remember saying, you can't really trust your feelings, but at the same time, like, when you are allowing yourself to be emotionally moved in a negative way just because you can't talk to somebody all the time, when you're, like, putting that expectation on them and stuff like that, like, to me, that's just not right, and I'm, definitely educated enough to know that, I just don't want to make moves like that, right? Like, I want to be fair, and I want things to happen organically and genuinely, and not so much as me being forceful because of my feelings, right? So it was hard. It was hard to be honest with myself, and it was hard to be honest with the individual, you know. And I still feel like I would love to, you know, have something, but I just know, like, right now, I'm just not in the best place. And I definitely want to be at a point where I'm not, you know, trying to have someone as a rebound, you know. I just don't feel like that's right. And, but yeah, I guess the whole point is, you know, letting go of something. Shit hurt a lot. But at the end of the day, like, when you're doing something with pure intentions, you know, it's easier to kind of make peace with it. And I kind of definitely advise that. I advise whatever it is, whether it's an individual or something, you know, that you have to let go. Like, trust yourself to do the right thing. Pray about it, you know, if you're someone that pray. Meditate on it if you're someone that meditate. But definitely, you know, if you feel like, you know, something is not right, then do the right thing. It'll save you so much, you know, in the long run. And I feel like if it's an individual, you know, I feel like it's only right, you know, being honest with them and allowing them to have that choice. And I guess that's, you know, why, you know, I feel the way that I feel, because I wish that I had that choice in a lot of situations. And I don't feel like I ever had gotten that opportunity, unfortunately. So, me being me, I'm a very considerate person. I genuinely care about people. I genuinely want to see people do well. And again, that's kind of like my mission. That's my goal right now, is to do all that I can to just be a righteous and fair person. Because right now I do feel like there's a crisis going on in many different areas, like identity crisis, you know, people pretending, you know, and if I would have played that role, you know, pretending, then it would have never been what it should have been. You know, it would have definitely had a lot of issues right off the bat, especially once the lust phase is gone, you know, and the real shit kick in, you know. Yeah, and I think people really don't realize that actually exists. Like, there is a lusting phase, and then when reality hit, you know, that's when all that shit come tenfold. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to go in pretending to be someone that you're not. You want to be as honest as you possibly can with someone. I feel like, you know, if it was something that was meant to be, it'll definitely find its way back, you know. So that's just a part of me adopting this optimistic mindset, you know. And like, it does hurt, you know, to walk away from something, whether it's people or it's things. Sometimes it really, for someone like myself, it does hurt. But again, just the pure heart, and just really working off of, you know, logic and reasonings behind the actions, and not so much as the feelings, is really key. And when you're operating from a lower vibration, you know, you definitely want to check yourself. And in my situation, that's what it was. You know, it was like the thoughts that was coming to my head. It was like, Les, you probably need to slow down. It's gonna be okay to take things slow. So I needed to check myself, check my emotions, get myself right. And that's pretty much what I said, you know, like this guy was a really, really great person, like real shit. Like, I respect him a lot. And, but I was willing, you know, to let him go. But it was tough. That's what I will say. It was tough. But, I know where I'm at right now, and I'm not okay. I'm working through a lot of things, and I'm trying. It's tough. So, you know, if you're someone out there that, you know, is getting out of a relationship, and give yourself time. Like, it's going to be okay. Even when you feel like it's not. You know, even when it's so easy to latch on to someone else, you know, that's easy. It's easy to catch feelings, you know, especially when you're vulnerable. But take your time, trust yourself, trust the process, you know, cry that shit out. If you gotta cry it out, trust me, I teary-eyed all the time, you know, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna kill you, you know. It definitely will make you stronger. I feel like, you know, in my last video, I mentioned I want to love myself enough to where my cup is overspilling, right? And this was a situation where I realized that I wasn't spilling over, or even just at a place where, like, I knew I loved myself enough, you know, if I was able to be moved, you know, just by the fact that I wasn't able to get to someone, and it just, you know, make me feel sad or, you know, lonely. And it's like, no less, like, you need to know how to be okay without, you know, others first. Be okay with yourself being alone, and get right with yourself, with your heart space, your mental. And when that time comes, you know, Allah's the best knower, right? So God's will, when he say I'm ready, I'll be ready. So this is to anybody who just need this message for today. Like, trust the process. If you know that there's something you got to let go of, just let it go. You know, trust that intuition, you know, because it's more than just that feeling when you know that it's something you have to walk away from, especially when it means a lot to you. And just know if it's meant to be, it'll find its way back. Okay? Out.